Hello, it's me, Lena, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to be reading Am I Overreacting? Let's get started. Am I overreacting? Wife threw cake, I bought her out without mentioning it. Is that a weird sentence? Am I a weird sentence? So on Saturday, my wife mentioned a few times that she just wants to eat cake. What kind of cake? I was busy that day, but ended up stopping by the shops on the way home Sunday to pick up a lemon roulade cake and some berries. Oh, I was hoping for a fruity sponge that I know she likes. When I got home, I plated it up and presented it to her. Oh, that is so cute. She screwed her face up and begrudgingly said thanks. I then said it. I could tell she didn't like it by the look on her face, and she replied that she no longer wanted it as that was yesterday. What, are you a king? Also, that she thought our son couldn't eat it as it looked like it had raw egg in the meringue, which I think he'd be okay with. Later on, I took the kids out and following dinner, looked in the fridge thinking it could be dessert for all of us. It wasn't there. So I asked where it went to find out she had thrown it out as no one in the family needs it. Do you know how much groceries are these days? Why would you throw away a perfectly fine cake? I'd be so mad. And if no one needs it, I don't know, maybe give it to a neighbor or a family member. I didn't reply, but I've been upset by it since. Understandable. Valid. I generally feel underappreciated, and on reflection, probably would have been fine if she explained her reasons for throwing it out beforehand. Am I overreacting? Edit. Some more context I should add in her defense. The day I came home with the cake, she was complaining of back pain after having done something to it that morning when I was out. Back pain and cake? I don't see correlation. Okay, there is correlation because back pain is serious. I have experienced back pain. Horrible. Don't wish that upon anyone. But I love cake also. I would have been like, thank you, baby. Oh, thank you, baby. Oh, I love cake. Oh, you know? Or just say like, I'm sorry, baby. I'm in a lot of pain right now. If you could just like put it in the fridge or something, I'll get to it. Update. So firstly, thanks to all the comments and validation on my feelings. Good. Glad you got validation somewhere. All the way from the slightly unhinged calls for immediate divorce to the more rational. To rule out some theories, she doesn't have an eating disorder. And didn't throw it out as cover. Interesting theory though. It wasn't to protect my son from his egg allergy. He's had this cake before. She wasn't directly pissed at me for lack of support. After putting the kids to bed tonight, she stopped me in the hallway to ask about a work trip she has coming up. Following that, she asked if I was okay. I flatly said no. Then after a pause, I asked her why she threw the cake out. That kicked off proceedings. Initially, she reiterated it was because no one needed it, to which I asked why she didn't tell me beforehand or think about how that would make me feel. Her response was essentially that she was worried about how I would react and thought this was easier. What the heck? So we're just not communicating anymore in this marriage? If we can't communicate over a cake, what can we communicate about? After questioning her on this and a bit of back and forth, she admitted that she had a morning with the kids and felt pressure to react positively to the cake and that I had missed the cues to ask her how her morning was. Her reaction to that was anger, which she actioned by throwing the cake out. She was throwing a tantrum. I told her she needed to be more open with me, that she could have prompted me by saying she had a rough morning and the cake needed to wait. She admitted she had been thinking about how she reacted and that she needed to find a circuit breaker before reacting like she did. I asked why she hadn't apologized then, to which she said she was going to tonight, and that's why she asked how I was. Part of me wants to show her this thread, but I know she wouldn't react well to it, so I won't. Final update. For those invested in this. Tonight she said she sensed I was worse after we talked, and that she'd been thinking about why, and that she thought it was because she didn't really apologize. I confirmed that by saying it had a few qualifications attached. She apologized again, and I thanked her. Well, that's good. Not overreacting. I think she was. She could have said, not right now, babe. I'm really having a bad day. But I get it. Not overreacting. Next. Am I overreacting for kicking my boyfriend out for not buying me a sandwich? Honestly, this one is kind of as it sounds. Apologies for the wall of text. Me and my boyfriend have been together for about 3 years. We live super close together, so we sleep together most nights and cook together every night. I cook, he washes up. Beautiful flow. Technically, we spend most days together like a couple who live together, so we're looking to move in together next year. But honestly, today's kind of made me question that. We both moved out of home about a year ago, and I've cooked every night. It's not as bad as it sounds because he washes up, but I've mentioned I would love to be cooked for just even once a month. It gets super tiring having to think of meals and plan the shopping by myself, and the course I'm studying is objectively harder than his. Not to put him down at all, I just picked something a little out of my depth. So the workload is rough, and having to coordinate meals and lunches and accommodate his likes and dislikes in food is actually pretty tiring. Girl, I feel you on that. On top of this, I have a chronic illness that makes my day-to-day tasks pretty tiring too. That's crazy. Anyway, the main point is, this doesn't bother me too much. I have a pretty big exam tomorrow and did not have the energy to cook lunch, so on my way back from a lecture, I got us both these fancy sandwiches we like. As a surprise, I got him our favorite and tried a new one. When we got back, I didn't like mine and said I preferred the one we usually got. He wouldn't try mine, and I kind of thought he'd offer half of the one I got him, seeing as I bought it. I don't know. Okay, I think that's where you up because you can't expect. It sets you up for failure. On the way back from the gym, he stopped, got himself a meal deal, and called me for my club card to get a discount and didn't get anything for me? He literally didn't even offer. I mentioned the time before he went to the gym I fancied a chai latte, hoping he would pay like £4 as I paid £20. Is that pounds? Euros. No, it's pounds. I'm so cultured. Sorry. Hoping he would pay like £4 as I paid £20 for dessert the night before, and he was like, yeah, send me the money. So I just said, forget it. Send me the money? I don't know, it just seems thoughtless. I got really upset when he came back empty-handed and he said I was draining the life out of him? So I told him to leave. He's now saying he's not coming back. Am I overreacting? No. If you don't want to come back, don't. Do me a favor and don't. Update! Even though he has ready meals at his, I bought him to eat when I'm not there. He's now refusing to eat unless I cook and apologize for telling him to leave. No. The way I would go crazy if this happened to me. Update 2. I decided to come back to my parents' home and spend some time away from him. I'm feeling pretty shaken up and he's been harassing me to apologize. Let it go. You said you're not gonna come back anyway, so what the is the deal? Thank you for all your sweet messages. I guess I kind of didn't realize some people had partners who did so much for them. Yeah. So heartwarming hearing all of your stories. If anything else happens, I will update you again. Not overreacting, so glad it happened so that you know not to move in with him and not to be with him anymore, and find someone that will cook for you and your chronic illness. Am I overreacting to mother-in-law getting us a gift that we have to pay for? What? Stop right there. That is not a gift. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a gift is something given to you with no strings attached, no nothing. It's just a gift in... What the is the definition of a gift? Let's see. A thing given willingly to someone without payment. So last year, my husband and I moved from a small apartment into a rental home. We have very little furniture because we simply haven't been able to afford it. It would be nice to have, but we managed with what we have. Pretty sure our lack of furniture bothers our folks, like my mother-in-law, more than it does us. Well, they have their own place to go back to. Make it make sense. Late last fall, my husband's mother told us that she wanted to gift us a furniture set for Christmas. The set would cost well over $1,000, and we initially said no, don't spend all that on us. but she kept pressuring, saying she wanted to go to the local furniture store and pick out which one she wanted. So we finally agreed, thanked her profusely, and went to pick out the set. She covered the down payment and said she would finance the rest so we could get it delivered soon. That's when things got strange. Apparently, she could not go to the furniture store to finance the purchase because her boyfriend was angry. We assumed he didn't like the fact she spent all that money on us and felt terrible. But then we found out that no, apparently he was angry because he accused her of having an affair with one of the employees at the store. That went from here to here. What? We do not know if this actually happened or if he's just being paranoid. So I was informed that we would have to finance the purchase, but she would be making the payments. Red flags immediately went up for me. I told my husband it was up to him if he wanted to finance it, but I couldn't do it and didn't recommend it. He got cranky with me for doubting his mother, but I could see the doubt in his face too. And I was not about to risk this going on our credit and her not making the payments, so instead, we decided to do incremental payments each time she gave us the money, even though that means we have to wait to take home the furniture. She gave us the money for the first payment, but since then, she hasn't been able to give us any more money towards the purchase, yet she keeps asking us if we're making payments. We've paid in maybe $100 total, and I don't want to pay in any more because A, we can't afford it, and B, it was supposed to be a gift. My husband is angry and has been avoiding her, but eventually when she asked me, I just told her we would not be able to make any more payments. She then proceeded to tell me that we just need to budget better. You don't want those payments to go to waste, and it's really important to have proper furniture for her husband's daughter. That triggered me. I said, we never asked for this. You said it was a gift. If you couldn't follow through, you should have just been honest about that, but we're not paying for it. Now I'm the bad guy, and we haven't spoken in a while. Are we wrong for being so pissed about this? On one hand, it feels a bit entitled since it's not like she owes us furniture, but we already made it very clear we didn't expect this. She insisted and is now leaving us holding the tab. I don't want to ruin our relationship over some furniture, but this feels like a betrayal and highly manipulative. Yeah. Okay, so you are happy in your new rental home, and then a tornado comes in, taking the form of your mother-in-law. And she just causes this whole thing. Even if there are incremental payments, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. And she said it was a gift. And she was the one that insisted. So it's like, and she's cheating? She's clearly not stable financially, emotionally, mentally. Not overreacting. She's weird. And that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!